So what?
Okay, now we're starting to record. So, because so many people watch the recording more than show up. So,
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill,
I remember that.
Bill, are you outside in your yard?
Yeah, isn't it nice?
It's beautiful.
I'm only kidding. No, that's the lakefront at Mandeville. It's just a picture I put in the background.
Oh, well, shit. It still looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you live in Mandeville, right?
Yeah, that's an oak. It's one of the historic oaks on the lakefront in Mandeville.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
There's no levee in Mandeville. It's just a seawall. So basically you can sit in the tree and just look out and in fact, Danny has told me a couple times that he was going to sail from the South Shore. There's a harbor like about a half a mile from where we sit there. And he sometimes comes to the North Shore and I'll park the boat up there for a couple nights. And he's a couple times told me he's going to come over and let me know when he's there and we'll have dinner and all on the boat.
Now,
But he hasn't made it over yet.
you have a boat?
No, Danny does. Danny's got a sailboat.
That big sailboat. Yeah.
Oh, Danny. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
right. I've never seen his sailboat in person.
Yeah.
Must be
I've seen it, but I've never been on it.
well, it's a little hard to get it to Arizona, Roger.
Yeah, it is. Hell. Well, I can see California from there.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. You can go through the Panama Canal and come out to California. Yeah.
But the lakefront is tricky when you sail on it. If you get out there and it's windy, because it's enclosed, it gets real choppy. It's not
Oh, yeah.
rolling waves or anything. And I was Edwin Krebs one time out on they had a sailboat, he and his sister and brother-in-law. And it was so crazy. We didn't know what the hell we were doing anyway. We're trying out to be sailors. It got to be so choppy. That boat was dipping and diving and up and down. We finally got it back to the land, but man, that was quite an experience.
Yeah, it's fairly shallow water. So I mean, sometimes it's as smooth as glass, but whenever you're right though, whenever wind comes up, it'll blow waves on top of the Causeway Bridge before. I mean, when I'm
Yeah,
driving,
well,
across the Causeway, I've had waves.
that's crazy.
That's kind of like, wow.
Yeah.
Been through that. Yeah.
We're here in Bay St. Louis now, right?
No, I moved back up here, just outside of Picayune. It's about 25 miles.
Oh, at least you don't move as far. That's like me.
Well, I got away from the bay after when, right, a little before Ida came, Hurricane Ida. I started worrying about that.
Why did you move back up to?
Well, I was renting down there and we didn't want to stay in this apartment where we were. So we looked around and the prices are just going through the roof down there.
Oh, really?
I mean, you can get like on my block, there was an 890 square foot cottage, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, $250,000.
You gotta be kidding, really?
No, and that was the cheapest one. I mean, there's one like that right now, just a little bit past St. Stanislaus, the school down there
Uh-huh.
on the bay, and it's about 2 blocks down. It's 2 blocks off the beach. It's about the same size. It's $495,000. So they're pricing everybody out. The rich people from New Orleans and other places are buying like a beachfront home and keeping it and
So that's
pricing
a
everybody out. What I
getaway.
should have done when Sandra and I married, we should have moved down there and just commuted into the city, and we could have gotten something for nothing. And I'd be rolling in money now.
Well, Barry Kaiser and his wife had a home down there for a while, and it got blown away in one of the hurricanes.
Yeah.
Eric,
There
this
you
is
go.
what the lake
Oh,
looks
wow.
like this is what the lake looks like when it's a little windy out there.
Oh, it's nasty out there.
Boy,
Yeah.
look at that.
Hey, look at
Yeah.
that. Looks like a
Yeah,
door
man,
coming up.
You're right about being on a sailboat, and if the weather changes, you're gonna have a little
Oh,
tough
man,
time with it.
really.
Yeah,
Billy, that's the North Shore.
that's the North Shore. Yeah, when you get a south wind blowing towards us, it gets choppy.
Well, you've been posting some nice pictures from the lakefront.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
we go out there almost every night. It's like about half a mile or about maybe 3/4 of a mile from where I live. So we go out there in the evenings to watch the sun go down. Everybody's walking their dogs and
Oh,
drinking
sure.
wine, and it's a nice time out there.
Yeah, you've had some beautiful pictures posted from it.
Yeah. Bill, is the property real estate going up where you are also across the lake?
Not nearly as much as New Orleans though.
It's crazy. No, I was just looking at some little condos and stuff down there. It's not feasible to live somewhere else and have a nice place down there you can go to once in a while.
The last time that happened where New Orleans went crazy price wise, then the North Shore started going up quite a bit because everybody was moving over here because it was cheaper to live here and then drive 24 miles across the bridge.
Right.
So it's like,
I guess real estate's going haywire again. The rates are going up a little bit, so.
And
We'll
you're
see
probably
what
not gonna get your car stolen from you over here, like in New Orleans right now. I think they've had 70 some odd carjacking since January 1st. You know,
That's the most craziest
people
thing.
walk out their front
So
door and
weird.
they'll just take,
It's a,
in the
it's,
broad daylight.
it's irritating because it makes me feel like New Orleans has become so unsafe and distanced from the people who really want to live there and everything.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
good.
a shame.
In
Yeah,
fact,
Roger, Bay St. Louis, back when I met Sandra back in '86, it was a sleepy little, town on the beach and everything. They had one or two good bars along the road and on Highway 90 and
right.
shops. And now it's all, it must have 7 or 8 bars and restaurant type places all crammed up together between the bridge going over that end and on down towards St. Stanislaus and everything. It's just condos and it's just a tourist trap now.
The
Everything's just
gambling
going.
changed all that, Rick, isn't that right? The gambling.
Yeah,
changed.
they don't have a casino there, but right down the road, 5 miles in Waveland, there's the Silver
Right.
Slipper.
Right. Close
Yeah.
enough.
Oh, yeah.
What's that, the big casino they have over there? That's not in
Yeah.
that's further
Wait,
down though, in Mississippi. Where's that? It's in the.
That's
big
Beau
thing?
Rivage in Biloxi, but
Well,
they
you've
got
got-
one
Yeah.
real close to him.
You've got a bunch of them.
Silver Slipper's real close by.
Yeah, you've got a bunch of them down in Bay St. Louis and in Gulfport, Biloxi area,
I think it's Gulfport they have. Is that where the big casino is? Gulfport?
Biloxi,
Biloxi.
Oh,
Beau
Biloxi.
Rivage. But there's the Hard Rock's right next to it. Then they
Oh,
have
yeah.
just one after another.
Ann and I traveled to there and we stayed a night in a nice hotel there. And
Mhm.
it wasn't too far from the Hard Rock casino there, which is,
Right, that's Beau Rivage right next door.
yeah. So it was interesting. Of course, they keep sending us postcards. Come on in and get this free, get this free. But one of that casino there has a nice a New Orleans flavor. It has like really good menus in it and some nice red beans and rice. So of course they should. They're right next door. So
Yeah.
it's fun to stay there for a night. That's about it.
Yeah.
We're on our way over to Florida. But yeah. So how's Mardi Gras coming along? It's just starting to start the parades, haven't they?
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be going,
They released the Jazz Fest lineup today. It's going to be this
Mhm.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looks
they have
like
a good. I like the cover of the John Bautiste is on the program cover.
Yeah, that's nice.
Do you watch him or listen to him? Or?
Oh, yeah, I love his music.
yeah.
I love his
He's
music.
great. He's such a talented,
Mhm.
entertaining, smart person. I mean, this guy's a
Yeah.
genius. I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
the way he does things. That's something I like to watch the Colbert Show because it was like listen to a little of his music there. I downloaded his album, so that's
Mhm.
pretty cool. I think.
Yeah.
So
I'll listen to his music, not every day, but at some time I'll just put it on in the background. Like, it's real
Yeah.
upbeat and
Yeah.
cool, Yeah.
is that money laying over there in that tray? I see money somewhere.
Where? Is it over
I
at,
think that's my tray.
Did you-
maybe
Yeah,
it's
somebody sent me a picture of a quarter, a 1970 quarter. That's worth hundreds and thousands of dollars. Because they say it was printed on top of a Canadian quarter because New Orleans, the United States was running out of quarters.
Huh.
It's supposed to be very valuable. I can't think, it was sent to me from Mississippi, actually, a friend of Fred's and I's.
It's printed on a different planchet.
It shows where to look on your quarter that you can tell it was overprinted, which I thought was sort of crazy. I never heard of such a thing, but
I wonder what the
Check my
Canadians
quarters.
thought about that.
I don't. Yeah, they're stealing our quarters. Damn,
Yeah.
the United States is at it again.
Yeah,
The home of the free and what we can take.
that's right.
It's
To
changed.
watch that show Pawn Stars, they always got mistakes like that that are worth a whole lot because they're so rare. Any
Yeah.
kind of mistake that
Mhm.
becomes a highly valued collection piece.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
I could find one of those.
Well,
Do you know Al Benz? Billy or Mike?
Al Bentz.
Yeah, he's a good friend of Fred's. He's the one who sent me a picture of that quarter.
Oh, okay. Did he
Says,
work with the club or anything? I don't know.
says,
Name-
That's a picture. It says some 1970 quarters are worth $35,000.
I went to an antique auction, they started bidding on me.
Yeah, well, I guess it got sold on eBay or something. So somebody thought it was worth something. And it shows you how to spot it. And I got a little, so I have this big frog that I've put money in for back when I was first started at the mustache almost, and it has to be full of quarters. So I
Mm.
figure I must have a $35,000 quarter in there. Probably take me 2 or 3 months to go through them all, look at them.
Search for quarters.
I've got a box.
Well, I mostly put all silver in there. There might be some pennies in there. Only
I've got a
relatively
box of
good.
old half-dollars and silver dollars that Bob Osborne used to pay me for my Triumph Spitfire when I sold him my Spitfire after I got married.
Uh-huh.
And he kept telling me, "Here, I'm going to give you this, but don't spend it. I want to buy it back from you." And I said, "Okay." And it was like a couple $100, worth of that. But I mean, I sold him the thing for 500, but he gave me that much in coin. I said, "Okay." And then he never did ask for it back, so I still got it in a box. And most of them are silver. They were
Oh,
like
cool.
things that
Check
he
it out.
collected from early 60, before 67. They had a higher silver content, and a lot of that
Yeah.
stuff. So I still got it.
64 was a break point on silver.
Yeah.
Ah,
567, they did a special mint set, which is a little more silver, but not much.
Yeah.
well, all the coins have gotten smaller. I don't know what they make them out of anymore. The quarters aren't as big as they used to be.
I haven't used coins in such a long time. I go to the grocery store now.
People
Instead of stick my credit card in there, it's just like, I don't want to deal with taking money back and forth from people
Well,
anymore.
people don't know how to make change anyway, so.
That's true.
It's so weird. I remember being in a restaurant, the waitress come and said, "We're having a trouble." I said, "What's the problem?" She said, "Well, our computer doesn't seem to be working." I said, "I want to order some." She doesn't know how to do it. You got a piece of paper and pencil? I said, "Write it down. Go back to the
Yeah.
kitchen, they order up and get that to the cook there. He'll make it for you and you bring it out."
He didn't know. God.
Well, Billy Blank, he couldn't make change unless he could put it in a skimmer hat.
That's right.
That's it.
Just imagine how we worked at the mustache for 4-key cash register,
Yeah.
and everybody had to think,
Yeah.
to see what you got and what you paid for it out of.
We had to- No, the thing is, when you take your order, you have to yell it from whatever part in the floor you're standing, no matter how far away from the bartender you were.
Right.
And it had to be liquor, beer,
Yeah.
softies,
Whatever.
how much it was out of. And then by the time you got to the bar, you had out of 20, or you had to have your money facing the right way, or the
Exactly.
bartender would make you go to the back of the line. So
That's right.
And all round numbers too,
yeah, round number. Yeah.
all round numbers.
Mhm.
With tax and all, the tax was included, so it was all round.
Yeah, it's easy. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't easy to do,
Yeah.
except if you actually got mentally involved in that system. I mean,
Yeah.
is it-
All you
people
know, if they gave you 20 bucks in the bar, you wanted to make sure you still had that. Well, by the time you close it, they were going to get their $20 back, whether you got it or not, so.
Right. I liked it when after we give last call and everything, then the lights came on and the customers are, everybody be looking down at the floor for money.
Oh, yeah. You'd
Well,
find
I
some-
found a $5 bill.
yeah, or you'd at least find some change in all those peanut shells that were all over.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was real funny.
No, Barry was alluding to, I used to put all my change in my hat and hold my hat, and people had to take the money from me. I wouldn't give it to them.
Yeah, oh, that's an old trick, huh? Where'd the hat
Then you had
go?
a false bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was working for tips. People didn't realize we're getting 65 cents an hour out there. And then if you didn't get a tip, you didn't make any money.
Really good. But when I first started with the mustache, they never paid the waiters anything. They just strictly had to work off of tips.
No, it was 65 cents an hour, but we had to sign our time card saying we were getting $1.65 an hour, which was minimum wage then. And they held out income taxes if we're being paid $1.65 an hour.
Yeah.
But if we were normally making more than that anyway, so it was no problem signing
Yeah,
that,
didn't make a big.
because of the tips.
Hey, we all were happy.
Yeah.
I was very
Good
happy.
times, good times.
Yeah, I would, on a good Saturday night, I could sometimes make my month's rent, you know.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, I can remember when I first started as waiting up at Cape Cod. Uh, Fred and I cleaned the club the next day. We'd always find all kinds of money. We found enough money to get us back to New Orleans. We're driving, but still, it was amazing, you know.
Jeez.
Yeah, but that's when gas was 35 cents a gallon.
No shit.
I remember when Kent and I left, because he lived up by Springfield in Bolivar, Missouri.
Oh
And
yeah.
we left Bolivar, we left Springfield. It was 22 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I can. When I was going to high school, I worked in a filling station, just to make extra spending money and everything. I forgot. I think it's then they had this gas wars that went back then.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it got down to 19 cents a gallon or something, and it was insane.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you know, you had to go out to the customer and fill his car up full of gas and ask him to clean the windshield and check the oil,
Check the oil,
his
tires.
do all that fun shit. And
And then sometimes give you free dishware and stuff like that. A fill up, you get, you know, a dinner plate or something like that. They were
yeah,
giving
they have the things. What's right?
But I remember being in high school and I had a little Volkswagen that took like 10 gallons of gas. And I would always feel so accomplished when I filled it up.
Oh,
But it
really?
still cost me like $3 to fill it up. And that was hard to come by.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in college, I had a motorcycle.
You're
It took
right.
maybe 50 cents to fill it up. It was great.
I think
I
those
went
nickel
for years
Smith
with
stuff.
$2 of gas in my car. That's all I'd spend at the gas station, $2.
Yeah.
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 Things were pretty simple then.
Yeah.
Shit, what happened?
A little more than that. now.
Those old, was it Texaco commercials with Jack Benny, and he would pull up to the gas station and say,
Yeah,
1 gallon, please.
really. 1 gallon.
And they would all come out and sing, won't you fill up, Jack Benny? Won't you fill up? Yeah.
Technical station. Yeah.
Times have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Tom, you said you had found some clips with
Yeah, I made some clips of here's of John. So let me get that up. Where are we?
there you go.
There was only one time when we had trouble in New York with guns were pulled. And we had, and the only thing that saved everybody was, for some reason, everyone knew what to do. They were sitting near the exit in the back of next to the band. And they were cops from Long Island, and they got drunk.
Oh,
And one of them had a wife who was pregnant with her, and all the waiters just ran over, and we just pushed them out the damn door, and then slammed the door behind them. So these guys called the cops, and we had the 10th precinct was there, and the precinct was in our pocket. Every Christmas, I took care of them. Every Christmas, every time they would come to me a couple of weeks. Okay, we got so many cops in the cars. We got the captain. We got, and I have an envelope ready for them. So all during the year, the whole rule was, if there's any trouble, get it out of the club. Because if you get it out of the club, you don't have to worry about your license. And so we got them out of the club. They called the cops. The cops came. Fortunately, my man was on duty. He brought us into the office. And we just had laid brand new carpet in the office. And this son of a bitch was so drunk, he'd light a cigarette and then he would throw it on the floor. And it was that acrylic type of carpet and would burn a hole in the carpet. And Mackenzie was with me because I went bush when I seen him do it. The second time was enough for me. And Mackenzie had to pull me off him and pull me away. And the cop said, you got to get out of here. And I just want to. And the guys were dumb. They were cops from Long Island. They were young cops. They all thought they were wired up. They had their guns. Unfortunately, New York cops were older and they knew what they talked some sense into it. But that was the only time I ever saw a problem in any of the clubs that I've ever been in.
Interesting, very interesting.
Hey,
It's Ira.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Ira.
Look,
Good
Hey,
morning.
Roger.
Ira.
Roger's back.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Hey, what's up? Hey, Barry, why don't you bring Danny and Mike back?
Well, I had them here 2 weeks ago and they were
I know.
all here in the garage. and
It
that
was
enough.
nice.
That was enough for about 6 months.
Well, it was a treat getting to see all three of you out there.
Yeah.
We had a good time. We spent like 2 nights and a full day together. And mostly it was telling old lies.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Barry was supposed to meet with another group that I'm in for lunch and he didn't make it. I don't know if there was if he had a job or if he had any other.
Hey,
Danny, you mean?
Danny, right. Yeah.
Yeah, Danny doesn't like doing the Zooms, but that's
No,
That's
that's
fine.
not Danny's style.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I had to force him when he was sitting behind me on the garage. I said, come on, open up your iPad, and just get on, you know?
Mhm.
That's not his thing, Barry.
No. But
Not
when he
his thing.
saw you, Ira, he perked up.
Yeah, for about 10 seconds.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but it was good seeing him. And Mike hasn't been here in a while either. So it was good seeing him too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that story that Murata was telling was so interesting about how we would take care of the policeman and the fireman, you know, with a little envelope around Christmas time in New York, which is so true. And most of it was just really nice, you know. And these young people come in and try to do crazy shit, and the older, more mature police officers and firemen took care of everybody.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, Roger, you missed Jeff's story last week about the death of his dick.
they had a viewing and everything.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, was that saved on video, Tom?
Yeah.
I can look
Right.
at it again if you got it there.
Okay,
was
let me
fun.
try. Give me a second.
Okay.
You guys talk about something else and I'll get it. I'll find it.
Yeah, yeah.
Mike's got a lot of snow up there.
No, not where I'm at. Snake's got a little bit more because he's a little higher elevation on the west side of town, but a lot of snow in the mountains, but not down here in town. Maybe we got maybe an inch or inch and a half,
No, it's nothing.
but it's cold. My wonderful computer's telling me it's 31 degrees out right now.
That's cool.
That's about the same temperatures it is here.
Yeah, it's gonna get down to what,
Down here.
about
Yeah.
26 tonight, maybe 26, I think,
20,
something like
yeah, on the
that.
North Shore, it's gonna be like about 27 here at my house.
Really?
When I got up this morning about 6 o'clock, it was 12 or 13 degrees out.
Ooh.
Whoa, baby.
I think Saturday night's supposed to get down to about 23 or 24 or something like that.
Yeah, it's about 72 degrees here.
Oh.
Nice. Thanks for telling us about it.
Yours,
That's what we are, Roger. We're about 72, 74 degrees, so everybody
Yours,
has their
Ira.
coats on.
Ira,
We'll be
you
out
don't
there
miss that
shortly,
New
Roger.
Jersey
Right away.
weather, huh?
What's that?
You don't miss the New Jersey climate, Ira?
Nope, not at all.
No, no,
Ira,
blame
how far is
Not in the least.
how far is Fort Myers from where you are?
From where I am,
Yeah.
I'm in Fort Myers.
you. Yeah, he's real close.
Isn't that where they had a tornado about a week ago?
Yeah, it was, the tornado hit about 2 miles, 3 miles from us, and it did a lot of damage.
Okay.
Wow.
That is
Yeah.
We
so
were
weird
fine.
down there. Tornadoes.
Mostly the motorhomes got tossed around.
Yeah,
You know
what
what?
is it about tornadoes and motorhomes? They seem to like target them.
Tornadoes head for motorhomes.
Of course they do.
They seem to,
Yeah.
So
And
weird.
there's plenty of them down here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are really nice too. I mean,
Some of them are beautiful
Yeah, some of them are like.
until a tornado comes.
Yeah.
Then they're not beautiful anymore.
Okay, here's Jeff's dead dick.
You never know. If you're talking, excuse me, Donnie. Excuse me.
Ronnie.
My dick died 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It just died. It died. No, I had a very nice
Very nice.
Did you have a service card?
Yes, I was gonna say I had a very nice viewing. It was nice food. It was nice. And I said, I asked my doctor, I said, what do I do now? He said, does the word depend mean anything to you? Because that's all it's good. No,
I
he
got,
tried to give me. He tried to
Listen.
give me. I'm sorry, lady. Listen, when you get our age, that's all you talk about.
Put a sock in it. It's the same thing. Put a sock in it.
No. You put a sock.
I got
I'll put in a Hebrew national salami. Oh, no. We have people who are dating. We have people who are dating who are older than dirt. They're older than dirt. They're holding hands. What the hell do I know what they're doing?
That way they don't fall over. That's what I.
All right, see, I miss those guys.
Yeah,
He was a character.
John had such a good time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And just the banter between Jeff and John. I mean,
Yeah.
they could have had their own YouTube channel just talking to each other. It would have been-
I remember when I called John up to tell him about this Zoom meeting. He was so excited. When is it? When is it? Let me write that down. What's the number? Say it again. Let me check that. He got so excited.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a shame I didn't know any of those guys. I mean, even though I was at the reunion and they were there, I didn't know them at the time when I went to Carnegie, you know, and including
Right.
Ira was there too. And I just didn't know y'all, and I didn't know y'all when I left too. So it's like, you know, we just, you know,
Didn't
was
John
crazy.
Murata have a brother named Vince?
Vinny
Vinny
Murata.
Yeah, whatever happened to him?
Yeah,
I think Vinny passed away, didn't he, Roger?
that's what I heard, but I can't remember when.
I think, oh, if he did, it's years ago.
Yeah,
Vinny,
yeah, several years ago. He was quite the character too. He was a
was here.
Yeah, he was.
New Orleans, Brooklyn guy, man. For the Warriors, he was a heavy draw, and I have a picture of Vinny and Art Dragon and I in a phone booth in New York, going in and out of the phone booth, smoking a joint or something. I don't know.
I remember Roger grabbing me in the club and said, look, we're sending you to New York and you leave in a couple of days and you're going to find this guy named John Murata. He's going to be your boss. Said Murata. Sound like an Irish guy to me.
Yeah, well, his wife was from Louisiana, so
That's right, Jackie.
Jackie, yeah,
Oh, Jackie was from Louisiana?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because when John started coming on, he used to call himself Cajun Queen or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
There's a interesting, because she would come by the club when John would work in there sometimes. And we had a coat room there in New York. And everyone hang their coats up there. She helped hang all the coats up and take care of the front part of the doorway like that. And she's just a sweet lady.
You don't remember this guy? You remember the manager of the New York club when I first got there was Ron Fuller. You remember him?
Ron
Yeah, I was
Fuller was
high
from
school with
Denver. He's
Ron
from
was
Denver.
Denver.
You
I
know, he
went to high
was in
school
New
with
York. I met him in New York and he had a good looking wife from what I remember.
Well,
Yeah,
he
That
was
was
married to
Penny.
Penny Fuller.
That was Penny
Penny.
Clark.
Yeah.
yeah.
He was married to Penny. She's a banjo player.
Banjo player,
Right.
exactly.
Yep.
I went to high
Clark.
school with Ron Fuller in Aurora, Colorado.
Well, he
Oh,
was
you
a
went to high
manager
school
in
with
New
him,
York
Mike?
club. in
I went to high school
72.
with him.
I don't know, he didn't stay in New York very long at that time. I think he's up there just training and getting some experience because
Maybe
that
so.
was in the early days of Denver, before I left Denver. And
Well, when he was there, when I saw him was 72.
72.
72.
Oh,
That's
that's
about
when he
right,
came
Barry.
back. 72, no.
Yeah, he was there. He was there when I got back from Brussels in 1971. And Ron, I think he's, last I heard, he's somewhere in Florida and owns some restaurants. And Last time I saw him was around the 1980s, and in Denver, he was pretty high up with an organization called Chi-Chi's Restaurant
Who's
in
that?
Minnesota.
Yeah.
And Kent McBride was pretty high up with them in property acquisition stuff too. And Chi-Chi's didn't last very long because they were stupid and expanding too fast. But that's the last time I saw Ron.
He also worked for Steak and Ale for a while too.
Yeah.
Well,
Ron
he was a manager in the New York club when I walked in '72, and you know who the head bartender was? Some Italian guy named Ira Dector.
I'm not Italian.
Yeah.
Ron Fuller. He was here about what, 2 years, Bear?
Yeah, he went on to work for General Mills, Ron Fuller.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was in charge of the Olive Garden, not in charge of, General Mills owns the Olive Garden and the Red Lobster. You'd always see those two stores real close to each other when they went out to all these malls and everything.
Right.
And I was living in Sarasota when I found out that's what he was doing. And I said, asked Ron, I said, do you think he could get me a job at the Olive Garden there? The reason I wanted to work there, because they were getting ready to open a store in New Orleans. And they were real good about moving people around and paying for moving them, all the furniture there. So he said, yeah, come on over to in Orlando. That's where their headquarters were. I went over to Orlando, spent a couple of days with him, went out to his house, and his wife was there, of course. And I went to this Olive Garden training program for a while, which was sort of interesting. He said, now, Roger, these kids are a lot younger and not as experienced as you. You think you're going to be able to do this? I said, well, I'll give it a try. Well, that didn't work out. I was working Olive Garden as a manager in Bradenton, Florida.
Bradenton, yeah, I know where that is.
Yeah, it's right next to Sarasota there.
Right, Sarasota's nice.
Did you
I
flunk the
lived-
Forever breadsticks or?
Yeah, that's right. I lived in Sarasota for a while. And anyway, this guy come in who was, I guess, a general manager of some of the Olive Garden trains. He was nuts. He was in the kitchen yelling at people and throwing pots and pans around. I said, hell, I can't handle this shit. So I just left. Told him I was going to quit. And Ron got a hold of me. In those days, I guess you just had somebody's phone number and you called them. And he said, why did you leave? I said, he said, why didn't you call me? I said, hey, now, you're right. It's not my program. I can't do that.
I spoke to Penny when we were planning the Carnegie reunion. We spoke. And I said, she's still in touch with Ron, I guess kids, I don't know. And I told her, I said, have Ron, email me or call me or something, but he never did.
No, he, after that, I lost contact with him, but
Yeah.
he was high up with the General Mills. So.
He's a nice fellow.
Oh, he was a real guy. I worked with him. I hired him in Denver, and he worked there for a while.
Yeah.
And he went up to New York eventually, but.
He came to New York with Rick Gallivan, right?
Ron's the one that really kind of got me hired at the Mustache in Denver with Jerry Sacco.
Jerry
Sacco. Talk about characters.
Yeah, no kidding.
He was had a couple personalities.
Yeah. He's gone a long time now, I think.
About 10, 11 years.
It's been that long? Jeez.
Now,
How long, Mike?
10 or 11 years.
Oh, I think it's more than that,
Yeah,
isn't
it
it?
seems like it. Because
I don't know.
our reunion was 10 years ago, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's been long. He was gone before the reunion.
Yeah.
There it is.
He was at the
2006.
Connecticut reunion.
He was at Connecticut, but yeah,
That's the Connecticut one, yeah.
he died in
Died in
2006.
2006.
Wow.
Connecticut was the best one.
I think so. I think Connecticut was great.
Well, that was more fun than and of course, we had the nice weather outside and
Yeah,
Oh, it's great.
the water all around us. And
That was great, Roger. That
everybody
was
was
great.
still younger and
Yeah, I think that had something to do with it, Roger.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why our next reunion better be soon.
Yeah, I've been in contact with Joel about that a little bit. He of course, he didn't want to have this last year because of COVID. But he wanted to have it and he wanted to have it. I've been in contact also with Ron Sater, not with him personally, but with the lady who's taking care of him. He wanted to have it before Ron got any worse and died. I don't know if that's going to happen because I was on the phone just before Christmas, a couple days, talking to Pat, is a lady that was with Ron at our reunion in New York. And they've been together a long time. It's not his wife, but it's, anyway, I talked to her and he has dementia and Alzheimer's.
Oh, goodness.
And he had a real bad experience. They had to take him to the hospital for some ailment in his back. And she went to get all of his information about him and the medicine he was taking and get him out of the hospital, and they wouldn't release him. She said, why can't you can't just keep him? She said, no, he has COVID. She says, that's impossible. He doesn't go anywhere. And they wouldn't, no, he never left the house without someone taking care of him. And so they wouldn't release him for about 3 days, and they didn't give him any of his medication for that time period.
Oh,
So he
Lord.
lapsed.
Really?
For his dementia, they didn't give him his medicine?
Well, that and Alzheimer's and just other
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, no,
medicine he might have been taking that they had to take daily. And,
yeah, no, I know. Well, I had to medicate my mom and my dad both before they died like that. And you didn't want to let them go because you can withdraw from that stuff. I mean,
Right.
exactly, that's what
Right.
happened.
like,
And the
it's-
hospital wouldn't, she found out that the hospital didn't give him his medicine, but she took up to them and wrote everything down and said, he's put this, and she was just furious about it, you know, she said, I said, Dad, that's terrible. And of course, now he can't even, last I talked, he couldn't even get out of bed because of that
Wow.
bad experience, which is really a sad thing. I mean, for anybody, with someone you sort of know. And Ron and I were really, really good friends all through the time I lived in New York and afterwards and before. So I always kept in touch with him. And but that's sad. So you stay out of the hospitals.
Joel put out an email, 2 weeks ago about the reunion?
yeah, so I got some from Marty. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Said
that.
he's still working on it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Gim said last week that they couldn't get any venues to do anything in because of the COVID.
Right.
It'd have to be in the fall, he said, wouldn't it? I think,
Wow.
yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I know during the summertime, New Orleans has lots of places to have things because all the festivals and all are gone, you
All
know?
gone, yeah.
Yeah, and they have lots of clubs and lots of places.
Yeah.
But I think the majority of guys that would go to this reunion are from the Northeast.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
Yeah. So, and they're all old like us, so, and they don't want to travel far. So I guess the best venue would be up in the Northeast.
Yeah, if they can find a place.
I don't know. I think New Orleans would have a big showing.
I
I
think so
don't-
too.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
If it was done in New Orleans, I'd try like hell to make it, but not in the Northeast.
I think New Orleans is the best location for it. But
I like New Orleans, yeah. I'm in favor of New Orleans.
Well,
30
New
miles.
Orleans would be the people on the Zoom call right here, and Danny and Mike.
right.
Maybe Neil would show, and Neil hadn't showed up for anything.
Neil
Neil
Undershaw?
Hunter's there, yeah. He hasn't shown up for any reunion, so I don't know if he would show up for this one.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
What is
I'd be
that?
able to get Maynard and Freddie to show up too.
Maynard and Freddie, but Maynard stays home now. Actually, he comes to my garage here maybe once a year.
Well, we'll do it in your garage.
You
That's what I
know.
was thinking.
There you go.
He's not doing Preservation Hall stuff anymore.
He maybe once a month now, Maynard. And Freddie has slowed down too. He does special gigs. That's it. In other words, he's not a regular gig guy anymore.
Are you still doing your regular gig, Barry?
Yeah, I'm only playing like 2 nights a week.
That's good. Get your chops going and everything. Yeah.
Keeps the chops going, and you know what? I get out the house, go cuss with the guys,
Exactly.
and all that, and so I still practice because I don't play every night anymore. I got to practice. I sit right here where I'm at right now in the garage and practice every day because I
Good for you.
found that I can't handle it unless I practice.
That's what.
Are you still at Arno's, Spare?
Well, I do the spot job. They don't have a band every night, but they have special parties upstairs, and I get usually one of those a week.
So you're at Fritzl's 2 nights a week?
Fritzl's 1 night a week, and at Arno's usually 1 night a week.
Oh, okay.
Are
You
you
think
doing
about
Mondays at Fritzl's, Barry?
Say it again, Roger.
Are you doing Monday there?
Wednesdays,
Or
Wednesdays.
Wednesday night.
Oh, Barry, sorry.
And we've been packed, by the way. We've been packed, crowded. 2 weeks ago, I mean, we were packed with standing room at the bar. There was no standing room at the bar.
That's
I know
cool.
it's a small place. It seats about 65 people,
Right.
but you had standing room at the bar. And it brings up to close to I'd say 90 or 100 people.
Yeah,
And we went, I don't know, 3 weeks packed every night.
that's
I
good.
mean, packed.
Are most of the bars on Bourbon Street busy, packed?
They were from what I could see,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But I need to tell you that this last week it slowed down. I don't know why. Maybe it's cooled, the weather cooled down. I
Weather,
don't know.
probably.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the weather.
It's usually also it's a slow time period in New Orleans, right after New Year's and Christmas. and
Just
the
before
holidays.
Mardi Gras.
Yeah, we were right before Mardi Gras.
Also for
So,
Mardi Gras, you got all the local stuff. It's going to gear
But-
up.
but I would say it's just like we used to do with the mustache, the same cycles.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you
They're gonna
think
have
they're gonna
a
have
regular Mardi Gras this year?
That's what they're shooting
I
for.
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're planning on it.
In fact, last month it was December. The first 3 weeks were December is always slow.
Right.
Always slow. I was telling the owner of Fritzl's, I said, well, it's blame the band month. He said, what do you mean blame the band month? I said, well, in my history,
Have to run it,
whether
though.
it be the mustache
Okay, Rick.
anywhere, the first 3 weeks of December, there's Roger saying, up, the breaks are too long. You gotta play faster music. In other words, it's gotta be the band's fault that
Yeah.
every first 3 months of December, it's slow.
Mhm. Yeah.
Gotta
Are
be
y'all
the band's
preparing,
fault.
are y'all
Gotta be the band's
preparing for a French Quarter Fest, Barry?
Say
Are
it
y'all,
again.
are y'all thinking about French Quarter Fest?
Oh, yeah. At Fritzl's, that's like Mecca for all those European
One of the
musicians.
stages, yeah.
They
Okay.
want to come down there and play.
Yeah.
I like French Quarter Fest better than Jazz Fest.
Yeah. I sort of like that too. I've been to the first
It's
quarter
way
fest
better.
about
It's way,
2 times. And
and it's free.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's right on the river there and everything. And all the clubs around are busy and a lot of musicians from everywhere jamming. And it's still a lot of fun. Man.
And all the restaurants are open and they all got bathrooms. You don't have to go stand in line at portalettes. And you don't have to pay like $80 to go see bands either. You can just walk around the French Quarter.
Yeah, the New Orleans Music Festival, Jazz Festival, used to be all of the music from New Orleans and Louisiana and the South. And now it's just become into a big Mecca music festival from all kinds of people from everywhere and different music. It's not really the Jazz and Heritage Festival.
I think you're absolutely right. And I think it suffered, but I'm in a minority.
Yeah,
You
it
guys-
didn't appeal to me.
All right, Snake.
Oh, good night, Snake.
See you,
Hi,
Ron.
Snake.
Right, Snake?
Hey,
next
buddy,
week.
take care.
Hi, Mike.
I might
Oh,
come
Mike,
down to Florida
you're
and hang
staying.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, now they're spending all the money getting these big name bands, that if you want to go see them in concert, go see them in concert, but like I'd rather just see the local
I
jazz.
agree. I
Cajun.
had the most fun at the Jazz Fest. I remember going to the first one, which was over at Congo Square.
Right.
Yeah, I was
It was
there.
all-
Your father's mustache was serving the beer there.
Yeah, we served the Schlitz beer. We did a couple of venues at the fairgrounds.
Fairgrounds. Yeah, we were all there. Yeah, that was
We
fun.
Took the fire truck out there and Schlitz brought their big truck with all the draft beer inside.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's strange. Things change.
And I remember that the band we played, the Mustache Band played at it.
Yeah,
And they even did a write-up in a newspaper the next day on us.
yeah.
And the big song we were playing, I still got the newspaper clipping, was You're 16. It comes on like a
Good.
dream, peaches and cream. That
Mhm.
song, that was the
Yeah.
big tune we played. The Jazz Fest that the newspaper guy wrote up.
That's cool. I didn't see that. I'd like to see
You
that. yeah.
you scan the copy from that, Barry. If
I'll
you
see if I
can.
can find it.
Yeah, find it. Send us a copy.
Mhm.
Put that with some of the other stuff I have.
Yeah.
People
Yeah, I've got
want
some
to-
old Jazz Fest pictures when we used to work the Schlitz booth and all that, and used to have that big Schlitz can that was on wheels that would roll around the thing. It was like a little motorized thing. It was And I remember we used to get in free because we were working the booths. But even when you had to pay, it was only like $3 to go to the Jazz Fest, and you could bring your own beer and food with you when it first started.
I never brought my
That's
food.
the deal. Back then, everybody brought ice chests. Just the
Right.
ones that forgot them bought beer from us from the Slits booth.
Right. And if for a very nominal, you can get a whole big bag of crawfish or something for just about $3 or $4, you know, and now things are so expensive at the Jazz Fest. I mean,
Yeah, it's what are the tickets, $80 now or something to get in?
yeah, something like, I think last time I went to buy one, it was about $80.
And if you want to get a cup of Miller draft beer, it's like $6.
Mm,
If I want to listen to a special band, I'd rather go see them in concert somewhere,
right.
you
Right.
know, and know that because that's the music I want to listen to. And which the last
I-
concert I was at was
Just wander around. Yeah, I wasn't one of these guys that are going to park my butt at one of the stages and watch everybody that was going to be on that stage. I wanted to go get a little bit of everything, you know, and just keep.
yeah.
Sometimes you'd find a band you didn't even know about that you like, you know.
I spent a lot of time in the gospel tent.
You should.
Yeah, I should. I certainly should. You're right.
Getting some of that old time religion, eh, Roger?
What's that?
Getting some of that old time religion.
Yeah, you got it. I love that. And they got it going.
Yeah, baby. No, I did like it was nice and cool in there too. You can go sit under the tent where the fans were going.
And they're going,
Cool
yeah.
down, yeah.
Yeah, it was, I think the last one I was in is in the 70s sometime. Last time I went, late 70s.
Well,
When it
wow,
was
that
changed
is a
so
long
much.
time. Yeah.
Ira and Mike.
It
you'll
is a
never
long
get
time.
Jazz
Are you
Fest.
kidding me?
Well, Barry,
Y'all never did Jazz Fest, did you?
I did.
No.
I was at Jazz Fest in 1979.
Okay, so you know a little bit about it. But
Yeah, it was great. I heard
Ira, this
everything.
was a big thing that Eufaula's Mustache was involved with, and now it's huge. We're
really?
not involved with it anymore, obviously, but it's huge.
Yeah,
I spent a lot of time out at the racetrack.
Yeah.
Right.
In the infield, they had a gospel tent and a jazz tent and something else. And then they had smaller tents. And one of the most unique acts I saw was Will Soto doing a thing with another guy and a girl named Alexis with a boa constrictor. And you all remember Will Soto.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
But I saw the Dixie Hummingbirds and Odetta and Bobby Blue Bland and a lot of people out there, but there wasn't much jazz at the racetrack, but saw Father Hines one night in a hotel and a bunch of people going up to Mississippi one night with like Dizzy Gillespie and Sun Ra and some others. It was a wild weekend. It rained like hell, but who gave a shit? We were all young and stupid. You know, get wet and muddy, who cares?
Young, stupid, and drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotta go, guys.
Hey,
right,
Roger.
Yeah, I'm
Roger,
gonna
see
head
ya.
out too, guys.
Have a good one, y'all.
All right.
Good seeing y'all. We'll see you next week.
See you next
Next
week.
week,
Okay.
guys.
Take care,
Thanks,
Be
guys.
safe.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Tom.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Talk to you guys later.
Okay.